Pot stocks getting absolutely smoked today with the biggest names plunging across the board. But despite the hit, there's no doubt that the cannabis craze is still red hot. Some of the biggest investors and players in the space are at a key conference going on right now in New York City. And our very own cannabis king, Tim Seymour, is on site at the IC3 Institutional Capital and Cannabis Conference, fresh off moderating a panel. And Tim, we have to mention your disclosures. Long a number of pot stocks, also sit on the advisory boards for 3 cannabis companies. You can check out Tim's disclosures on our website. In the meantime, Tim, give us the lowdown of the conference.
Yeah, so Mel, and by the way, this is really an institutional profile. The crowd here is extremely institutional, tells you the sophistication of this sector very quickly. But some key bullet points. Bottom line, there are catalysts. We talked about the political front, but there are state catalysts, there are federal catalysts that I think you can be looking at in the near term. Ultimately, there's just innovation that's going on, and no different than any other sector. Technology is running rampant in this sector, whether it's food processing or different parts of the pick your vertical, it's all happening. Those people are here, and we've seen this happen in other industries and other countries at other times. And finally, the whole consolidation in the sector is alive and well. There will be deals. U.S. companies are doing deals with each other. Canadian companies are buying U.S. companies, so there's a lot to talk about in that sector. In fact, we had a very interesting interview with Micah Tapman of Canopy Ventures, which I want you to listen to, that gives you some overview of the investor trends. Take a listen.
There's terrific value in the U.S. I think the Canadian market is overheated right now, but hey, it's not trading on fundamentals, and I'm sort of a quantitative guy. California, $3 billion.
Right.
They were at 0 on January 1, and $3 billion right now. Colorado is $1.5 billion. We only have 5 million people in Colorado. So this market is booming. Where it's going in the future is hard to predict. What I will say is it's going up. And again, if you're not in now, you're going to be paying more later.
Paying more later.
Yep. It sounds like somebody who's trying to justify the valuations right now. I mean, even you are skeptical of valuations currently, though.
I think in the private companies, you're actually seeing a case where there is some discrimination in terms of good companies, good management, good balance sheets, and what people will actually pay. Capital is certainly more expensive in the private sector.
Yeah. In terms of products, Tim, what sorts of products are these companies expanding into?
It's funny you say that, Mel, because as I've been walking around here, there's all kinds of high-end products. This is some kind of a vape pen that ultimately is a puff pen. It fits in your pocket, very, very high-end, very slick. This company is certainly one of the high-end players in the sector. They're selling flour. They're not selling it here. It's not in here because we'd be breaking state laws. But bottom line is very advanced branding. Guy Adami, these are chocolates that get you in the mood just in case, you know, sometimes you need a little extra help. Not that I would presume you do. But again, chocolates, edibles, all kinds of stuff. Bottom line here, there's a product for every vertical the consumer could look for in the cannabis space.
All right.
Sorry, Guy.
Tim, thanks. Tim Seymour.
Thank you.
At the IC3 Investing Conference. What does this feel like to you? Does this feel like a bubble, or is
well,
this
that guy sounded like a Bitcoin guy from 2017. Better get in now, or
it's only going to go higher. You're only going to pay more later.
Listen, I think what's really interesting, I think Tim mentioned state laws. You know, what happened in Canada is a federal thing. I think we're a long ways off from federal here in the U.S., so it's going to continue to be a very disjointed market. When you go to a conference like that and you actually can't pick up the product and stuff, you got a little bit of a problem, in my opinion.
So therefore, the valuations are
like, I want to go to the conference in Colorado, in California, maybe up in Toronto. You know?
Uruguay, Canada.
Yeah. Try it out.